Okay, so a quick tutorial on rendering animations. I've just set up a 10-frame animation of a cube moving, nothing fancy. Just make sure on your timeline that your start is at the start point of the animation and the end is either at the end, or if you want to leave a few frames just so the last image hangs, then set that up there. But if you leave that as the default 250, even if your animation is only 90 frames, it will still render out for the full 250. Okay, so here you choose your render engine, either Eevee or Cycles. I'm just going to use Eevee. You've got the render setting here, which you can increase if you want it to be sharper images. I'm just going to leave it at the default. If you're using shiny or glowy or reflective materials, then these three should be ticked because that helps to pick up all that. And then we're going to go to the output. I always leave this as default. The frame rate 24 frames per second, absolutely fine for what I'm doing. And then I'm going to choose a folder of where to put it. So I've got one called Animation Film Strips. I'm going to add a folder, and then I'm going to accept that folder and accept. So here now it goes into the new folder. I'm going to have it as JPEGs, and then you can do it as PNGs, and then I'm going to render animation. So it's now going to render one image for every single frame. So that will be 10 images, and up here at the top left it will show you when it's completed. There we go, it says frame 10, so I know it's done, so I can close it down. And now we need to turn those 10 images into an animation. So this icon top left here, if we click on that, there's a video sequencer, and this is what it looks like. And then we're going to add image and sequence. We're going to go into the folder we set up, select all the images, and just press add image strip. So that's now what your animation looks like, but it is still a bunch of individual images. So here you can do movie output. You've got AVI or FFmpeg. For some reason everyone says use FFmpeg, so I am. So I just click on that, and then I go render and render animation again. There we go, it's done. So then if we open up the folder, Animation Film Strips, in the new folder, it'll be this one with a really weird title. And if we open that up, you can see now that we've rendered the animation. Okay. Now I will say here, if you go back to the 3D viewport and you decide that you didn't like your animation, you want to change something, if you change it in here and then you re-render everything, if in your video sequencer you have left this here, nothing will change, because this is what it will be rendering every single time. So you just need to press delete to get rid of it. But here in the video sequencer you can add sound, you can add text. Apparently I haven't worked out how to do that yet, and also on your add sequencer, if I just put them in, for example, say you wanted to hold the first frame, you can just K or right click and split, and then you can just drag that along, and then you can Shift D to duplicate, Shift D to duplicate, put that back there. So now if you rendered it out, you'd have 13 or 12 frames, and it would just hold that first image longer. You can split it up and do all sorts of things in there, play, have fun, but that's basically how you render an animation.